Hey guys, welcome back to ForeverAfterReacts. So today we're doing something a little different. It says visiting America, the don'ts of visiting the USA. I do live in the USA. I've lived here my entire life, and thought this would be interesting to see what this person says about it. I don't even know if this person is from America or anything like that. But the video is a little like 3.5 years old now, so I don't know. I thought it would be fun just to react to it, and we'll see how it is. 14 minutes long.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Mystic, Connecticut, in a beautiful place here in the U.S. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the U.S. because anywhere you go in the world, there's things you should do, but there's also things you shouldn't do. And this video is going to just cover the U.S. in general, okay? And our first don't for when you visit the U.S. is don't touch the Americans. Look, Americans really like...
I mean, why? I mean, I understand. Why would you, like, touch anyone, really?
Their personal space. It's like they have a bubble around them, and if you get too close to them, they feel very, 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 very uncomfortable, okay? So make sure you give them a little distance when you are there, you know, because I know when I go to Italy and Spain and stuff, be like, Mark, how's it going, all this stuff, and my American friends sometimes go, wow, they're really, really affectionate. Like, that's just how it is. Here, space is key. The second don't I have for you is don't count on public transportation. Look, when we were in China and we were throughout Europe and South America, we took buses and trains and planes and all kinds of stuff to get all over the place because public transport is really developed. Here in the U.S., you cannot count on public transport to get you a lot of places. Yes, and
I have no knowledge of this at all because I live in West Virginia and there is no, like, public transport here because we're small. So if you're going to go somewhere, like, you have to go somewhere.
Big cities like New York and Chicago and stuff like that, you can get around with public transport and it'll take you where you want to go. But a lot of towns, small towns especially, and middle-sized cities, the public transportation networks are not very good. And at night, sometimes it's not very safe. So that is kind of a frustrating thing. So yes, you're going to probably have to rent a car when you come here, okay? So just have a heads up for that. And that kind of leads into the next don't I have for you is don't underestimate the size of the U.S. The United States, it's, you know, continental U.S. is like continental Europe. It's huge. I mean, would you think of driving from, oh, I'm going to do, you know, from Lisbon to Paris and then go up to Tallinn and then head down to Sofia? No, you're like, that is insanely far. It's the same thing when you come to the U.S. I meet a lot of travelers that are like, oh, I'm going to fly into New York, grab a car, drive down to Miami to see Miami Beach, and then head over to L.A. I'm like, dude.
Oh, my gosh. Go to Miami to go to L.A. Woo!
You got 2 weeks, you're going to spend the entire time in cars. The distances here are insane. So what I recommend is picking a region. So, we're going to stay here in New England and see New England. Or we're going to go in the southeast, you know, go to Atlanta and Savannah and Charleston, things like that. Or visit the West Coast. You do that to get a better idea of the culture there and things like that. But also, it's just the logistics things because it's so far between the places. And to go along with that, for Americans, a 3 to 4 hour drive, that's a day trip. Like, my parents live 3 hours away. I will literally get up, go drive, have lunch with my mom, and then drive back home.
No. That's an 8-hour day of driving. I hate driving. I used to drive an hour to work there and back every day. 2 hours of driving for 12 hours of work. So it's 14 hours of not being home. And as soon as I get home, not to mention, like, I got to get up and get ready for work or whenever I get home, do what I need to do and get ready for bed. Like, I didn't have that much time, like free time, if I was working for that week. I hate driving so much.
Just for lunch, 6 hours in the car. No big deal. It's about 7 hours when we start to think, that kind of is a long drive. And we drive the entire way through. Okay, this isn't like, oh, I must stop every 2 hours and have a 15-minute break. Oh, no, no.
I mean, my grandparents just live 2 hours away, and there's been, I mean, we didn't do it too often, but there's been plenty of times where, like, we've drove up there that day and then do what we need to do and then come back in the evening. But still, even just 2 hours there and back is just, that's miserable.
No. We drive all the way through, okay? Now, my next don't for you when you come here is don't think that the sticker price is the end price. Look, in the U.S., we have sales tax. I know other countries, they have VAT, value.
West Virginia's got 6% sales tax for those of you guys that didn't know, if you aren't from West Virginia.
Added taxes, they're already put into the price of products. So when you see, oh, it's $1 or €1, oh, I only pay €1. In the U.S., it is not like that. We have sales tax, so a certain percentage is added onto that product. And the thing is, I cannot tell you what the sales tax will be where you're going to travel because it's different everywhere. Cities, states, counties, different products have different sales taxes, and some products don't have sales taxes. Some cities don't have sales taxes. Some have 10% sales tax. It can be different anywhere you go. So if you're gonna go get your dollar menu item at a McDonald's or a Culver's or a wherever,
yep, if you go get a sweet tea for $1, you got $1.06 here.
it's not gonna be $1. Where I live, there's two cities right by where I live. One, it's gonna be $1.08. The other one, it's gonna be $1.09. So be ready for that. And it's not just the sales tax. Also, there could be the tipping on top. And that leads us into the fifth don't, and that is don't forget to tip. Look, in the U.S., you tip 15 to 20% at a sit-down restaurant, okay? Now, McDonald's, stuff like that, no, you don't tip at a fast food place, but if it's a sit-down restaurant where they bring you your food and stuff like that, you will tip them 15 to 20.
I do know in other places that tipping is like frowned upon because it might seem like this person is poor or needs money or something to do like that. It's weird.
20%. If you are in a group of 6 people or more, sometimes they automatically put the gratuity on there, which sometimes can be 18% or something like that. Look, when you come to the U.S., there's a reason why the food is like so affordable. You're like, wow, it's cheap to go out and eat in the U.S. It's because there's kind of this understanding.
That's true too. I used to work in a restaurant, well, multiple different restaurants, and that's true that people will almost refuse to wait on people because they won't tip, because for waiters and waitresses, that's how you make an earning, is by tips, because the actual pay rate is a lot lower. I think wherever I used to work at, it was like $3 an hour for waitresses and waiters. So yeah, if you don't tip, you're only making, I mean, you do have to pay back the minimum wage of tips if they don't reach their quota, but still.
That the service fees and paying for the workers and the waitresses and stuff like that, that goes on to you, the person eating there, with the tips. So the food and stuff can be cheaper when you go out to eat. And I know a lot of people say, I don't believe in tipping, and this tipping isn't the right thing. They should pay their people more. Well, if you want to pay more for your food, they can do that. But they don't, okay? So tipping is something we do here in the U.S., so do tip that 15 to 20%. Oh, also, if you're at a bar and you're buying drinks, you're going to want to tip a couple dollars here and there. Otherwise, the bartender might not be too quick to come back and get you your next drink. So following off of those tips, what you need to realize is our next don't is don't be freaked out by the over-the-top service and free stuff you sometimes get in the U.S. Look, because of tipping and commissions and stuff like that, yes, there is a lot of over-the-top service here. But the thing is, in the U.S., the people actually are pretty nice and they want to help people. And sometimes for some travelers, if they come from countries where people don't get a lot of service sometimes, it can be a bit much, so don't freak out about it. Also with that is don't be freaked out with some of the free stuff you get when you go to restaurants. Look, if you go to a restaurant and they bring you bread and water or chips and salsa and all those really good things, that's included in your meal. Okay, so if you're...
I was confused on where they were going with that, but I could see it.
You're going to be buying something, they're going to give you some free stuff. It might be some bread, it might be a salad, it might be a water, it might be something like that. So don't be like shocked when like, wait, I didn't order this bread, I didn't order this salad. Oh no, that comes with your meal, okay? Now the thing is though, you can't just go in and get chips and salsa and walk out, all right? You actually have to order some food when you go there. Now my next don't for you is don't smoke cigarettes in the U.S. If you're smoking cigarettes in the U.S., people will look at you like you're trying to kill their baby.
What? I've never heard that ever in my life. I know, unfortunately, a ton of people who smoke. I'm not a smoker. My family doesn't smoke, against it and everything like that, but I've never heard anyone actually think that I can understand not being around smoking due to like secondhand smoke and stuff like that, but not like to where they like scour at you or something. That's wild.
Cigarettes is like totally verboten. Like people really frown upon it, which is funny because when they talk about marijuana and stuff like that, people don't seem to care as much. But cigarettes, Oh, you're trying to kill my baby with that cigarette 2 blocks away. So if you do smoke, make sure you try to find a place where you can smoke, because a lot of restaurants, or pretty much all restaurants, hotels, stuff like that, have smoke-free. It's smoke-free, so you got to go like 15 to 20 feet away from doing things, so that can be something. So I've come here outside my favorite liquor store to give you the next don't, and that is, don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21, or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over.
That is 21 now. This is what's changed. This video is like 3.5 years old. You have to be 21 now to buy cigarettes. Unless they changed it back. I'm pretty sure it's 21 still.
In the US, they will not sell them to you. And the thing is, don't forget your ID, because if you look like you're 40 or under, they may ask you for that. And don't get mad at them, because if they don't ask, they could get in trouble and get fined. Yeah. So don't be surprised, because we've had friends that have come here, try to buy alcohol, and they're like, sorry, you don't look old enough. Oh, I don't have my ID. Too bad. And the thing is, it's not just the person buying. They might ask anybody with you, so make sure everybody has their ID if they want to buy liquor, or they want to buy, well, they want to buy alcohol, or if they want to buy cigarettes. So just FYI on that one. Oh, that's also another don't I have for you is, don't bother with a metric system when you come here. We don't use, we don't use meters, we don't use kilometers, we don't.
I don't know why we don't. Like, it would just be so much more simple if everyone used the same system, but nope. I guess America just has to be special in their own sort of way.
We use liters. It is inches, feet, miles, gallons, pounds, things like that. And I'll put a conversion chart here to show you. But honestly, you may say, hey, how far is it to this next town? And they'll tell you, oh, it's like 60 miles. You're like, what's that? Just know 60 miles, it's about 100 kilometers, okay? So just do that, because the people here won't get it. I mean, I have people, when I'll tell them, oh, it's 100 meters away, they're like, 100 meters? It's like 100 yards. Oh, okay. So make sure you do know your imperial system, okay? Because metric, we don't do that so much here. So our next don't is, when you do come to the U.S., there's a couple things you don't talk about, okay? One is gun control, and two is politics, because no matter where you are, you will get...
Same with religion. Don't talk religion or politics. That's what I've always heard. Gun control, not really. I live in West Virginia, where they're kind of really huge on guns. So I don't think really many people like frown upon guns. I mean, I'm neutral. Like, I'm not for them or against them. So that is what
people
it is.
On either side of the spectrum, and they will have an argument with you. So it's best just to lay off those topics. Talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nicer if it was sunny today and we could go sailing? Yes, that would be much better than discussing gun control or politics. Just putting that one out there for you right now. Now, my next don't for you is, don't assume that all the U.S. and all the Americans are the same. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you're a typical American. Well, it's like saying you're a typical European. Look, the U.S. has all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different people, all kinds of different topography and scenery and stuff.
Even, I mean, as a side note, like, whenever I'm working, like, I'm a correctional officer, and, like, some of the inmates will be like, all you guys are the same because of one person did something. And we're just like, that would be no different than me saying that you're the same as this guy, even though you guys did totally different, like, charges or anything like that. One of them could be, like, really bad charges, too. Like, you can't say that. Like, everyone is their own person.
Like that. And when you come here, don't assume it's all the same. You will see regional differences in cuisines and how people treat each other, and how everything looks, all kinds of stuff. So don't just think there's just one kind of American. They're all fat, slobby guys with ponytails. No, there's actually a lot of skinny people in America, too. Not just fat guys like me and my buddy Jeff. There are those. So don't assume it's all the same, all right? So do go out and explore. And that's why I always say is, if you're going to come to the U.S., go and explore different regions, because you'll get a really different feel. Because going to the southeast and seeing the plantation homes and going to see the southern towns down there versus going to the northwest and Seattle and Portland, or going to San Francisco, or going to the Midwest with Chicago and Milwaukee, you're going to have a very different feel.
Or come to West Virginia for the mountains.
Which is really a cool thing to do, and you start to understand is, wow, the U.S. does have a lot of different cultures within it, a lot of different feelings when you go around here. And following on with that, I guess I would say another don't is, don't assume there's no culture in the U.S., because there are a lot of cultural centers out there. If you go down to New Orleans, you see a very rich culture there. You go to New York or Boston, here in New England, you have a very distinct culture. In the Midwest with Chicago, Milwaukee, you go to the West Coast, I mean, there's a lot of different culture here. historic culture with the Native Americans or more recent culture here. I mean, you have all that here you can really take in. And saying there's no culture in the U.S., it's not really true, because there are all these different cultural centers with great museums like the Art Institute of Chicago or the Met in New York, the Getty in LA. There's all kinds of stuff you can see and do when you are here. For a cultural trip, it's not just seeing beautiful landscapes and seascapes like we are here in Connecticut. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, my next don't for you is one that I kind of get a lot of questions about. We actually have a video on this, and then that is, don't think that how are you or how's it going is actually a question. Look, when we say how's
Yeah.
it going, how are you, these kind of things in the U.S., it's not a question, it's a statement. It's like saying hi. Okay, just take it as a hi, because a lot of people say this. Everyone asks me how I'm doing. When I try to tell them how I'm feeling, they're like, well, I was just saying how are you. Here, how are you is just hi. Think of it that way. It's like in France.
Same with usually people I know, they're always like, hey, what's up? Oh, not much. And you just keep on walking. It's just or they'll even just like, you say what's up, and you're like, oh, what's up? And you just keep on walking. It's just literally just like a hey, what's, or I can't even say, it was like hey, what's up? It's just a greeting, and you keep on walking.
Ça va? Ça va? How's it going? How's it going? We're good to go. In Portuguese,
Yep.
tudo bem, everything good. You answer back, tudo bem, everything good. It's just, how are you? How are you? You move on, okay? So don't think it's an actual question, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is don't expect a lot at the fancy hotels. You know, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to pay more money for this hotel. I'm probably going to get nicer stuff, like a nicer breakfast, better Wi-Fi. Oh, no, 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 no. For some reason in the U.S., it seems like the nicer the hotel, the more you have to pay for the things you think would be free, like Wi-Fi and breakfast. So don't feel like you have to stay at the fancy hotels, because honestly, if you're...
Especially if you're just there to sleep and then leave like the next morning. I mean, there are some disgusting hotels/motels in the U.S., but yeah, I'm a cheap person anyway. I'm a minimalist, so I get good to what I need, and then I'm good to go. The wants and stuff I don't really do.
You're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right? So stay at the hotels in the U.S., and the cheaper ones will give you free Wi-Fi, free breakfast, all these kind of things, which is really nice, so don't expect that from the fancy hotels. Another don't I have for you is don't skip out on the local food. Look, we're here in New England. We're here in Connecticut. We've been having lobster and clams and, oh my God, New England clam chowder. Oh, my tummy is just like, more, more. It's fantastic. When I'm in the South, man, Southern fried chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue. Oh my God. The food in the different regions in the U.S. are great. So don't just go to chain restaurants. When you go to your hotel, ask them, hey, what's some local restaurants around here? What's some local...
Well, like in West Virginia, we don't really have any like cuisines really. We just kind of have like a little bit of everything that we do. Like we're not at the sea, you know, on the coast. We're close to the coast, but you know, to get seafood, it's kind of not rare, but it's just kind of different. It's not as fresh as what you'd like it to be, and like we do barbecues and stuff as well. I mean, I've had like Southern barbecue too. I think ours is just as good, if not better. Especially coleslaw. If you guys like coleslaw, I think we make some really good coleslaw up here. But yeah, we're a little bit of everything. I don't think we have anything in general. Usually, if anyone who associates food with West Virginia, they think pepperoni rolls, which, if you don't know what a pepperoni roll is, it's just bread and like pepperoni and cheese inside of it. Really simple. It's really delicious, and that's just what we're known for. I'm not like crazy about it. Like, it's good, but like people, it's overhyped for me at least.
Owned and operated restaurants, so you can go there and check out those places because they really give you a great experience. And I find a lot of times those ones actually have better service than the chain restaurants because it's a mom and pop place where the owner is the ones helping you out, and that is really kind of a cool thing.
Well, that's one too. I don't know if it's a West Virginia thing or not, but like usually if you get everything on a hot dog, like you'll get chili, which is like sauce to some people, chili, ketchup, mustard, onions, and coleslaw. We put coleslaw on top of our hot dogs. I don't know if that's like a West Virginia thing or just certain part. I don't know. Maybe that's the culture right there.
Now, my next don't for you is don't get sick. Look, Healthcare in the U.S. is insanely expensive, and just because you come from another country doesn't mean they're not going to find you for the bill. All right, so if you're going to be coming here, make sure you get travel insurance or trip insurance, so in case you do get sick, or you do break an ankle, or you do break an arm, or something happens to you, your insurance will cover it. Now, you might have to pay it first and your insurance pays you back, but at least you'll get something back, because healthcare here in the U.S. is insanely expensive. Okay, so make sure you're prepared for that. And I guess my last donut I'm going to have for you is one that people actually got mad at me for when I lived in other countries, when I told them the U.S. has 50 states. And they said, no, the U.S. has 52
51.
states.
Wait, 52. I can understand the Washington, D.C. being one, but what is the second one? Is it... It would be like Puerto Rico, would it?
Look, don't think the U.S. has 52 states. The U.S. has 50 states, okay? Just a heads up on that one. I'm sure that people are going to be commenting down below that when I was in school, they told me 52. No, there's 48 on the mainland, and then Alaska and Hawaii are 49 and 50, all right?
Yeah.
So,
what were the other two? I know Washington, D.C. would be one. That's why I thought he was going to say 51. Where's the other one?
those are our don'ts for visiting the U.S. What are some of the don'ts you have for
And what school did they go to for them to say there's 52 states? What?
the U.S.? Because I know there's more out there. I just want to get some of these out there to help out travelers heading to the U.S. just so we can get things going. Anyway, if you like videos like this, we have stuff on what the don'ts of going to Russia, the don'ts of going to Germany, the don'ts of going to Brazil and things like that. And we really like helping travelers with honest travel advice. So if you like this video, do click that subscribe button. It means a lot to us, and we put new travel videos out every Wednesday and Saturday to help great travelers just like you. So I'll say bye from Connecticut and have a great time in the U.S. because don't worry, you will. It's a fantastic place.
Heck yeah, that's a pretty cool video, which I didn't say before, but again, that was a Walter's World. Yes, Walter's World. I really appreciate the video that he did. I didn't say that before. I should have said that before. That was a really cool video. I know, I don't know how many of like other other areas other than like the USA people just wanted to watch it just to see what they would say, because that's what I'm kind of curious about, of what the don'ts would be. But that's kind of interesting. I might do a couple of other ones depending on the if you guys want to see more of these. But like there's a couple of places that I would like to see eventually in my lifetime, and I kind of like to see if they've covered it and say the don'ts of it. And I think that'd be interesting. So if you guys want to see that, that'd be cool. Usually I do, this is mostly a music reaction channel too, so if you guys want to check out some of my reactions, and yeah, that'd be really cool. If not, no big deal. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm kind of having a brain fart right now, so yeah, anyways guys, thank you Walter's World for posting this video. Hopefully this video doesn't get in trouble, because at the beginning of it, it did say it was copyrighted, so I don't know what'll happen once I post this. And this video is really long, so if you stay till the end, thank you very much guys. Hopefully you guys like the video, and I'm not gonna ask you to do anything else because that's all up to you. So yeah, I'm ForeverAfterReacts, aka Nick, and I hope you guys have a good day.